Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of Tight Spots Lounge, where we're going to delve deep into the horror realm right now because it is October 6th, 2023. We are 25 days away from Halloween. We are going to delve into one of the hottest franchises right now in the horror game. And this movie came out a few years ago. The second one came out a year ago exactly today. So we'll be talking about the second one in our next episode. But let's bring in our first guest of the show ever. It is Art the Clown, who's in between us. He decided he's going to keep his distance from us. He's not going to kill us tonight. But Art the Clown from Terrifier is here. And we got our good co-host, best friend in the world, Nick Knack Patty Whack Knack Attack. Knack Attack, how you been, my friend? Welcome to Tight Spots Lounge again for this great episode that we're going to have here tonight. How you doing tonight?
I've been alright. I've been dealing with a sinus thing for the last week or two, but it's finally working its way out of me, so...
Oh, no. Sinuses. I know a couple weeks ago I was dealing with that, and I know a lot of our fellow streamer friends were dealing with some sicknesses recently as well, so... It's been going around,
What
so...
sucks for me is, like it doesn't affect my nose, but I get, like, really bad headaches.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like migraines. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think Art the Clown has some ways for you to cure the headaches, but...
Oh, I'm sure.
So Nagatek, it's been a little bit. It's been 3 weeks since our last episode. We've been busy doing life. You've been busy getting better from the sickness that you've had. I got to go see Corey Taylor and Escape the Fate last week. Were great shows. You went to a high school football game tonight. How was that? How was the high school football game tonight that you were there seeing?
It was okay. I mean, I was kind of having fun because we were standing next to the student section for the home team, and those kids go nuts. So
nice. That's good. Hopefully the home team
a
won.
lot of energy. It made it entertaining.
Hopefully the home team wins tonight, and the student section can celebrate a victory. But yeah, I mean, honestly, football season's here. It's October already, and we're already a quarter of the way through the football season in the NFL. I mean, this is week 5 already, which is insane. Just to think of how crazy this year's been. I mean, we're already in the Halloween season. Next thing is Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and then hell, it'll be 2024, and then we'll see all the fucking ads for vote for me, vote for me, vote for this person. No, vote for him, vote for her.
Once you hit Labor Day, it's just boom, 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 boom. Holidays, year's over.
Yeah, the year is over. It goes by so quick. But Knack Attack, we are definitely gearing up for these 2 movies here that we're going to talk about. Or we're going to talk the first one, and then we're going to be talking about the second one of Terrifier. And I'll tell you what, I mean, I was already forewarned that it was going to be like one of the most gruesome horror films I've ever seen by some people, and I would agree.
I mentioned before on this show that Terrifier is not a movie I would start with in the horror genre, but it's definitely one for fans of horror.
Definitely. I would agree with that. But before we delve into Terrifier and the horror flick, I know we like to talk about music as well on the show. Any new tracks recently? Any new music that you've been checking out? Knack Attack.
There's been a few things. I feel like I've kind of stepped back in time 20 years. I was listening to new Stained and Seven Dust, and I'm really digging the hell out of Brothers in Metal right now. That Endless Saga album is amazing. It might be one of the best metal albums ever created.
Nice.
And before I was playing around before the show started here, I saw Theocracy has a new album coming out, so a lot of good stuff out there right now.
Nice. Yeah, the new Stain and Seven Dust are awesome. I'm a big fan of the new Blink-182 song, One More Time. It's a very sad and heartfelt song. I just feel like a lot of that uh, is somewhat coexistent in my life with the stuff that's going on with my wife and everything. And then also the I was supposed to be at the Fall Out Boy the iHeart Radio Festival last week as well, but unfortunately I did not go. But I did watch it on Hulu when it was live out here from Vegas. But Fall Out Boy did a rendition of "We Didn't Start the Fire," and they modernized that song with a lot of the stuff that you and I grew up going through, and so did they because they're about our age, which is pretty awesome. I don't know if you ever checked that out, Nagatek. Have you heard it yet?
No,
Okay,
Fall Out Boy's not really on my radar.
I know, I
I
know.
don't hate them, but I don't really like them. They're just kind of there for me.
Okay, all right, all right. Well, hey, to each your own. I know there's a lot of people that hate them, a lot of people like them, but hey,
I'm in
just
the middle. I'm just like, oh yeah, whatever.
you're in between, but but let's do it. Let's get the party started. Let's start with Terrifier, man. Let's start talking about this movie that if you haven't seen it, it's out on Tubi. It's available now. And for the second one, if you haven't seen it, it's on Hoopla and Amazon Prime. Or if you're like Knack Attack, he owns a copy on Blu-ray. So, which he is going to grab here in 1 second. He has to get up from his chair and he's gonna show it to you all.
I'm gonna fall into my chair.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
it is.
that's
There it
movie's so good.
is.
I got the physical disc.
Why don't you have the first one? Why don't you have the first one, Neck Attack?
The first one's not. It's. We'll get into it. Terrifier 2 is like one of the best horror films ever made.
Okay. I haven't officially watched all of it of Terrifier 2. I started doing
It's
it
a
a
very
while.
long film, and you'd think. I know we're supposed to talk about the first one, but just while we're on it, real quick, like you wouldn't think a 3 hour slasher movie would work, but it does.
Okay. Yeah. When I noticed it was long, I was like, okay, now I need to go back and watch it. Even though I know like the beginning parts of it, and then after and then some of the parts where the people die and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, 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 that, yeah, yeah. I knew this guy was gonna die. Um, I'm gonna say this: Terrifier and these genre horror films, they're very predictable on who is gonna die, and that's easy to tell because okay, this person's expendable or this fucking female's an idiot and she dies. But the way they die, the way they die in this movie and in the second one, which we've seen a little bit of, is like holy shit, extreme blood use. Definitely a lot of pig's blood used in these films, and I was just like I'm like holy shit, like like it starts off Terrifier. You're you see these two girls. They're going to a Halloween party, and they stop at a gas
Well, they
station.
just left one.
They
They
just
left
left
the
one.
Halloween party.
They left a Halloween party, and they hear on the news that something happened somewhere.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You're jumping. You're getting things mixed up.
Yeah, I am. I am. Go ahead, Knack Attack. Go ahead. Talk about
No,
it.
they leave a party and they just happen to kind of catch the attention of Art the Clown, who just happens to be on the same street they're walking down.
Yep.
And in particular, I guess Art kind of is gravitated towards Tara, is her name,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Tara's I guess her friend Dawn, Tara and Dawn are heroines, and Dawn's kind of a little tipsy, a bit drunk from the party, and Tara's still with it a little bit, and so she's kind of a bit more aware of what's going on around them.
Mm-hmm.
And like at first, Dawn thinks Art the Clown is just this weird guy that's just kind of a joke because it's Halloween, but Tara's inner radar about danger is like immediately going off. Like this guy, there's something wrong with this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And
It's not until a little bit later when Dawn sobers up a little bit and she goes back and looks at some of the pictures on her phone with art in them, and she's like, "Holy shit, this guy is menacing."
Yeah, and yeah, it's too late for her. It's too late. I mean, honestly, um, the way the way she dies, um, being hung upside down and then sliced.
Well, don't spoil it. We'll just say
Oh,
she has one of the most. I don't. It's okay you spoil that she dies, but just the way her death is arguably one of the most memorable kill scenes in a slasher ever filmed.
oh, it is. It is. It's like, and then like the way Art the Clown's like this menacing, like smiles and demeanor is just one of those things where it's like, oh, wow, like this guy does not care. This guy, this this guy who is a clown who he just does not care. He does not care about his victims. He just he just destroys them. Um,
Kind of
especially,
what sets Terrifier apart from other slashers is Art the Clown is actually truly a menacing villain. Like
uh huh,
he's not a joke like Jason or Freddy. Like
yeah.
when Art the Clown shows up, you know shit's gonna get real, and the guy's terrifying.
But I'll tell you what, Jason X is still a great movie to laugh at because it's Jason
Oh
in
no, yeah, they're
space.
fun, but like this is a different type of slasher. This is more along the lines of like the first Halloween,
Yeah.
where it's like your villain is actually scary and not just a gag to watch people get killed on screen with. And part of the brutality is what makes him so scary.
Mm. I mean, you wanted to pose the question of what we thought about him in the pizza shop, where of course he kills some people there. Um, but what what does he do in that bathroom? What does he do? What do you think, Knack Attack? Do you think what? I mean, honestly, do you think in that bathroom, do you think he gives birth to the thing that we see in the second one?
Not quite yet. I think, honestly, I know this sounds funny, but I think he basically did what happened in Dumb and Dumber 2,
What's that?
where what's his name? It wasn't the sequel, but the prequel to Dumb and Dumber, where the Harry or whatever, the
When
blonde one,
when
was
Harry
in the
met.
bathroom with the chocolate bar.
Oh, what did I never saw that one. I never saw when Harry met Lloyd.
You're not missing much, but there is a funny scene that was a callback to the hilarious bathroom scene in the first Dumb and Dumber, where I guess Bob Saget plays the dad of this girl, and what's his Harry Lloyd, whatever the blonde one is inside the house in the bathroom, and he has a chocolate bar in his butt pocket, and he's
Oh,
like up against the heater, and it starts melting, and he just starts like accidentally rubbing it all over, and afterward Bob Saget walks in, he's like, "There's shit everywhere." I don't recommend watching that whole movie, but look that scene up on YouTube. It's the funniest thing about that movie, and the only funny thing about that movie.
oh wow, yeah. I never saw that movie. I might have to watch it just for the shits and giggles. Um,
But imagine Art just basically took a turd from himself and just started just painting with it inside that bathroom.
yeah, I mean he could have done that or just like started throwing up like random shit. I don't know, like
we see a little bit of the aftermath of the bathroom and the pizza guys. I love those pizza guys. That's one of the cool things about this movie is you get the little slice of life of Miles County, and you also get these little moments of these characters that are going to get killed, but just enough that you care for their deaths.
yeah. the the one pizza guy getting his eyes sockets like eyes taken out of the sockets and then candles being put like a jack o' lantern. It just it reminds me of Trick or Treat a little bit, and I love Trick or Treat. I know you love that movie too, man. Um, and those
I
movies,
do, but totally very different. Trick or Treat's a fun ride. Terrifier is meant to like gross you out and scare you.
yeah. But I'll tell you this: I'm not scared. I enjoy the movie because it's just it is what it serves its purpose. It's entertaining because like it's one of those things where you know, okay, these people are all gonna die. You know, it's like it just feels like the evil in this movie wins, and it happens. I mean, honestly, it has to happen to continue the series. I mean,
And there is I like the introductory scene because it gives you a little air of mystery of who the final girl is going to be, because we know the final girl is going to be so freaking messed up, like beyond recognition, that we weren't really sure which of the sisters was going to be the final girl.
mm-hmm. And like you just feel bad for him, but yet you don't feel bad for him because they could have easily left the situation and got more people involved right away. But this is a movie. This isn't real life. Um, I mean, these scenarios probably have happened, but like not to a certain extent. We don't have a serial killer clown out there trying to kill people, but it's
It was done good enough. They set up Tara's phone battery dying. They set up,
yeah,
I guess, Dawn just not being aware of her surroundings, and it was good enough. It worked.
yeah, and
It wasn't insulting that the characters got in the situation they were in. It worked.
yeah, it worked, and you know the janitor in the building and the crazy lady in the building that lived there with the porcelain doll as her baby. You know, she was like a crack addict, whatever the fuck was her mental illness that she might have. Um, but like
On the IMDb, she is referred to as Cat Lady,
cat lady, sorry, cat lady.
which works.
So the cat lady, um, you know, and also Mike the Exterminator, um, and you know all the Exterminator guys, and then like the EMT people, and you know like the person who plays Art. I mean, who is that? Who is that guy who plays Art?
David Howard Thornton
David
does an
Howard.
amazing job too.
Yeah, he does. He does. He just he does great. He does great things with it, and
He has to
and
do all his acting here because Art the Clown has no dialogue, so it's all like body language and
yeah,
facial expressions.
yeah, and it works. It works because he's a clown. He does. He's like a mime. He's a mime that kills, but he's a clown. He's not a mime.
Yeah, and I'm
But
glad John brought our guest here because you can see the look. It's like the classic, sort of like a mime-ish clown,
mm-hmm.
kind of that more classic clown, not like a Ronald McDonald sort of thing, or like Pennywise.
Yeah.
Like, he's a killer clown, which, you know, not the most original thing anymore, but Art the Clown's look is pretty unique.
He's not a killer clown from outer space, which is another classic '80s horror film, which we're not discussing or partaking this year in watching. But one of my favorites of all time because it's interesting to see how they. I don't think did they before. I mean, honestly, they had they had it, but before that, was there any like? Well, I mean, and it wasn't really a. I mean, Pennywise was a clown, but invested in that movie, it was just the figment of fear. That's what people were fearing, which it could be anything that you fear, like a certain object. But they, I mean, Stephen King wrote the book, and it was shown as a clown, but it was also like, it also was able to shape form of different things, and show up in libraries and all these other places.
Know why it chose the form of a clown?
I don't remember.
That was because it would attract children to it before it would feed off their fear.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
The newer movies kind of dropped the ball on that, and because they made him look kind of creepy, which is why the Tim Curry look is kind of better, because he looks friendly at first. It's not till you get up and then you realize there's something off with this thing.
Definitely, and it in the end. I mean, I know we're talking about different stuff about indirectly based about this movie. But also then you have Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which was the
which went hard into the clown concept.
yes, hard in the clown concept with the circus clown type thing with the big top and the cotton candy.
Cotton candy guns,
Yeah.
they're the shadow puppets that eat people. My favorite in that one is when he uses the police chief as a ventriloquist dummy.
Yes. Yes.
That scene's actually kind of scary in a movie that's otherwise pretty goofy.
Yeah. So, and then we have Art the Clown, who is just straight up fucking like quiet and just slashing left and right. You know, I don't know how many deaths in that. How many people did he kill? Like he killed.
It's not a ton in the movie, but they're memorable. So
yeah,
at least like 7 or so.
Yeah, I think 7. But like, I'm gonna say this. I thought he was dead in the first one. You know, you thought he dies in the first one. We already know there's a second one, so that gives you an answer that he doesn't die. But I enjoyed the ending of the movie because it's like, okay, like you have him in the body bag, you have him on the bed ready to go into the corner, and you know, just like it all works out in the end because it's like, holy fuck, like he's dead. But I'm not spoiling it. If you guys haven't seen the second one, you need to see the second one because it leads right into where the first one ends. And yeah,
and
go ahead.
The second one, I very much appreciate, puts in the effort to explain somewhat why he came back to life. Mm-hmm. And the second one goes in the more supernatural elements, but it's not just like with the Friday the 13th sequels where it's like, I don't know, he's back because he's a zombie now. It's so there's a lot more mythos built up in the second one, and it makes it. I
is this
what Damien Leone did with that?
So would you say, like Terrifier 2 and the continuation of this film series is kind of like Child's Play, because you know he's still alive. I mean, Chucky's still alive in the second one and the third one and so on and so forth. So is it kind of like that mythos for the people?
Not necessarily. They all came back because they made money. Like this one, Art the Clown is back because it felt more like a design plan from the go.
Okay, so if Child's Play 1 never made money, it would have never continued?
Oh, definitely not. I mean, that movie had a definite ending there. It could have ended, and it was fine.
Okay.
I mean, this was mid '80s. They weren't making movies with the thought of 10 sequels.
Which honestly, look, they have like Bride of Chucky. They had Call of Chucky, The Curse of Chucky, Son of Chucky. They also did the TV series, which is on Sci-Fi and Peacock.
On Shudder as well.
Yeah. Have you watched any of it?
I've watched the first 2 episodes. I remember I gave you a recommend.
Yes.
Based on those first 2 episodes.
Yes, that's right. Yes. I haven't watched it yet. I want to.
Since we're talking about it, Curse of Chucky, way better than it deserves to be. I highly recommend watching that one.
Okay, so you like them. You like those movies. I do too because it's interesting.
I like most of them.
Okay.
As far as like a franchise that's going that long, I like most of the films in it.
Which one do you hate? I'm sorry we're talking about different stuff, but
Bride of Chucky I could do without.
Oh, come on.
I never saw Seed of Chucky.
Seed of Chucky, that's what I meant. Not Son of Chucky.
Don't really have any desire to, so those are the 2 that they could just go to the curb.
Well, Bride of Chucky is pretty fun because Method Man dies in it, which is funny. And like Seed of Chucky is cool because it gives you like Tiffany and him having a kid, but then the kid splits up in multiple personalities, and then at the end it's Jennifer Tilly's out of Tiffany's body, and the boy and girl are now like human boy and girl, and Chucky like somehow his arm gets to the birthday party and then chokes the kid real quick, and that's about it. That's how that ends.
Yep,
So,
that's how
so,
that ends.
so I ruined. But like then that's it. Like you don't even get the kids in the next two movies, Curse of Chucky or Call of Chucky. Curse of Chucky and what is the other one called? Call of Chucky? Is it?
Cult of Chucky, you got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I watched both of them on
I haven't
Netflix.
seen that one yet, but I do want to watch that one.
And then we have the movie that came out, which I've never seen, the new one with Audrey Plaza and Mark Hamill as the voice, which
I heard that one's okay. Like totally separate entity from what came before, which is
yeah,
fine.
yeah, definitely it is definitely because I don't know why we're talking about this because we're talking about horror movies now. We're delving into all these other movies.
You were kind of talking about the supernatural elements that kind of develop in sequels, and
Yeah.
I don't think Child's Play was probably the best example for that because right off the bat we had a supernatural thing that brought the serial killer's body into a doll.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what the supernatural thing was. He was a serial killer that died, but he got put into a body of a doll, which we all know is it's a great series because honestly, even though when I was a kid, Chucky gave me nightmares. Like he really was in my nightmares, which was crazy.
Well, that first one has some legit scary moments in it, like that scene where he's first discovered as being alive.
Yeah, and
when
then
the mom discovers he doesn't have batteries. That scene's terrifying.
Yeah, and then he kills the mom. It's like fuck. Sorry guys.
No, the mom doesn't die.
Oh, the
You're
aunt
getting this mixed up with Chucky too.
The aunt does. The aunt does. Right?
Yeah.
The babysitter. The aunt or the
Babysitter.
Babysitter. Yep. Which was crazy. If you've never seen it, you guys are missing out. The movie's like 30 years old almost. Like I think it's like 30. Maybe. I don't know how old it is. Maybe longer. But yeah, I mean, that's what horror is about. I mean, there's so many different elements of horror films. Like, we talked about the clowns. We talked about art here in Terrifier. And then you have like the thrillers, which are like Scream, which are the slasher films, but also like who's the killer? And we talked about all the other Screams. We talked about the last one, right? In a previous episode, correct?
I think we touched upon it a little bit.
Yeah, you haven't watched it, have
I
you?
had Paramount Plus for a hot spell over the summer, and I watched Scream 6.
Yeah, we talked about that. It was one of our movies, right?
No, we just happened. We had like an extended intro.
Ah,
one of the movies we
okay.
that week.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about.
Okay, it wasn't really one of our episodes, unfortunately. Yeah. So, with that being said, what else do you want to talk about in Terrifier? What else?
Oh no, I just want to mention like how it develops more in part 2, but how in part 2 we kind of journey with Art the Clown as he kind of discovers himself that he's a supernatural being, which I thought was an interesting twist on the villain discovering they have powers.
Yeah,
it was an interesting take for the genre.
Also, thank you to a viewer like Iron Shadow for subbing. It is 20 months in a row on Twitch. Iron Shadow, thank you for subscribing. Art the Clown will not kill you now. Art the Clown will leave you guys be. Iron Shadow, if you're still there, what are your thoughts on Terrifier? Have you watched it? If not, why haven't you? And if you will, watch it. Let us know on Twitter what you think. And also, watch the second one, which is on Hoopla or Prime, if you have Prime. If not, go to Hoopla. It's free. It's your library online. And it's awesome. It's an awesome thing that Knack Attack showed me, that you can sign up for a free library card and watch movies and all this other stuff that's on there. I've never seen it. I'm a big horror lover, though. I need to check it out. You do need to go check it out. Go check it out on Tubi. It's on Tubi right now for free. But don't go away. But yeah, don't go now. Go after the show. So Knack Attack. Anything else? Anything else you want to say? I mean, honestly, I think
I'll get in with I'll get into a little bit with some of my problems with the film,
Okay, yeah,
and
that's
it's mostly due to Damien Leone's kind of, I guess, inexperience as a filmmaker at this point in his career. I think particularly I kind of like and hate how we kind of switch main characters in the middle of the film. It
yeah.
works sort of, but we spent so much time with Tara that when we suddenly switched over to her sister, we didn't really get the build up with her that we had with Tara. So
Yeah,
it
she only
doesn't
came in the
quite
picture
work in the
because they
second half of
needed.
the film because we don't have a hero that we want to root for as much.
She only came into the picture because they needed a ride home, which was understanding because the car died or they ran out of gas or something. Um, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I almost wish they could have had a rewrite of the script where she was kind of part
the
of
party.
the other girls, like from the beginning, like she was
Mm-hmm.
there from the beginning.
Yeah,
I think it would have worked a little better, but I at the same time I also appreciate how the movie kind of pulled the rug out from under us and basically just off on our main character in a very brutal way.
which we kind of talked about. Uh,
Oh, and that reminds me that I also like how Art the Clown plays dirty. Like when he whips out the gun, that's like a holy shit moment because like you don't expect that from these type of horror villains. Like it's always like stabby things,
yeah,
never guns.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know. And he has this bag of tricks. I mean, he has all these sharp knives and like random clown artifacts kind of with him. And it just gets nuttier in the second one as well, which we'll touch base in 2 weeks. But, this one it was like, just like, it, I don't know what to say about it because it's like you said, I don't really want to give spoilers because it's still kind of new to a lot of people because they're like, they've stayed away from this because they're like, oh, okay, people threw up because of this movie or blah, blah, blah. Don't be. Just go with an open mind. It's a horror film where Art the Clown, who's right next to us, who's hanging out at the lounge today, and next episode, I think he wants to come back. I think he wants to bring some friends. I don't know what that's all about, but we'll find out later. um,
He might come to us from the Terrifier ride. Who knows?
yeah, is there a Terrifier ride? Where's that? Where's that at?
Oh, you'll see.
Oh, it's in the second one? Oh, shit. Okay. All right. So, I got a question. So, there's another movie out called All Hallows Eve. Is that related to this film?
Sort of. I haven't seen that yet, but I guess it's a horror anthology that Damien Leone was a part of, and I guess Art the Clown, he's either like part of the wraparound segment or he's one of the stories in that horror anthology.
Okay.
And there's actually a short film Damien Leone did called, I think, The Ninth Circle or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like 15 minutes long, and it has like an early concept of Art the Clown.
Okay. So, am I wrong that was the talk show portion on the second one?
It's in both, which is what makes the second one kind of interesting, the way it plays with the timeline of events.
Yes.
You'll
Like,
see.
yeah, you'll see, guys. I don't want to ruin it. So, Iron Shadow, after you get off here, after you turn off Twitch, go ahead.
And I highly recommend watching Terrifier 1 before you watch Terrifier 2.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I watched this a while ago, and that's why I'm letting Knack Attack, sorry, I said Nick, Knack Attack, talk about it more because I like when he talks about stuff and then I just add stuff. I don't like to babble on a lot, but I do. But yeah, this whole movie is not a train wreck. I think it's up there in one of the, like, if it's not like the most gruesome horror flicks of all time, I'll need to finish rewatch of Hellraiser series first. No, don't watch Hellraiser. Don't watch Hellraiser first. Watch Art the Clown. Watch.
Oh god, you're gonna rewatch all those Hellraiser movies, even the 10 straight to video ones.
I guess
Half of them are okay, but the other half are complete garbage.
that's what Iron Shadow wants to do. I'm already 4 in. Okay, he's already 4 in.
Oh, dude. Yeah, number 4 was basically the nail in the franchise coffin theatrically for that series. That one is so bad.
Which
Although I will say I love the ending of part 4 when the space station turns into the giant box. I thought that was cool.
what was the worst movie? Hellraiser 4 or Lawnmower Man?
Dude, Lawnmower Man's awesome.
Okay. Well,
Lawnmower Man 2? Now we might have a discussion.
Lawnmower Man has a video game. Hellraiser does not. Or do they? Does Hellraiser have a video game? I don't know.
There's gotta be one.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if there wasn't.
I'm surprised there's not a Art the Clown Terrifier video game yet. Like, I mean, they made Saw. Hey, by the way, guys, I haven't seen Saw X yet, and I know Knack Attack hasn't either. I've heard good things.
Yeah, I've heard mostly positive reviews for it.
Yeah. So, I'm excited to see it when I can. Not technically, the Cenobots are in Dead by Daylight. The Cenobites are in Dead by Daylight. Oh, so not technically.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
Yep. Yep. So that is Dead by Daylight, which I have played on this stream before, but haven't really delved into it like many of the other people that do delve in it on a regular basis, which I don't think I can do that. I wish I could, like, delve into a horror game and have friends that would play it with me. Knack Attack would probably play with me if he had an updated system, but that's beside the point.
I'm working on it, man. I'm still saving up for a gaming PC.
Yeah, well, I'm saving up to live life now. I need a better job that's not paying $11 an hour, and yeah, so I do have an interview coming up this week, guys, at a hotel. So hopefully that goes well for front desk, and I'd be making probably around $17 an hour doing front desk, I think, or whatever the price, the range of wages is now for that kind of stuff out here in Vegas. But I keep on saying "but" a lot. I don't know if you're butt people, but butts get slashed in this movie. Okay, um, a lot of butts, like butts slash. Knack Attack's like whatever. So Knack Attack. I know it's only a half an hour over, a 45-minute episode here almost. We're like 37 minutes deep, 38, whatever. Your final thoughts or anything you want to say about Terrifier 1, which is out now?
It's definitely low budget, but you can tell Damien Leone just kind of really has a love for the craft. You can see this guy's got talent, and it definitely shows in Terrifier 2, which you can tell he grew as a filmmaker in every way conceivable, because that movie is just expanded on everything Terrifier 1 did and did so much better. I mean, it's not perfect. I give it like a 3.5 out of 5. I definitely don't recommend it if you're not a horror fan, because it is very intense, but if you are a horror fan, it's definitely worth a watch. And Art the Clown is a fascinating character and will surely be remembered decades to come.
Definitely. So, also, I would recommend watching Terrifier 1, like he said, if you're a horror fan, and see it before Terrifier 2. But also, the reason Iron Shadow and anyone else who's listening to this later on, if you guys watch Terrifier 1 now, November 1st, Terrifier 2 is going back into theaters. So, maybe you can take your loved ones to see this. Not your kids, your loved ones. Your wife.
And make sure they knew nothing about it and watch their reactions.
Yes. Do that. Unless your wife or significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whoever you're seeing is a horror film, then watch the first one together and then go see the second one in theaters. And then gear up for the ultimate movie, which was announced this week, which I'm not going to say what it was, but you guys already know probably if you see the news. But yes, you know what I mean. So my final rating of Terrifier, the first one, would be 4.5 out of 5. It's gruesome. It's it's predictable because the people are dumb in this movie, except for the
Are
woman.
they? I disagree with that statement.
No, they're not dumb. I mean, how would I put it? How should I put it then? They're you care about them, but then you don't care about them because when Art the Clown attacks them, you're like, okay, yep, it happened. You know, it it's like one of those things where you say, hey, okay, you put yourself in this situation. Do you get yourself out of this situation, or do you succumb to it? And there were a lot of the battle scenes between Tara and Art the Clown, were significant, and not underwhelming at all. I mean, but you kind of had a feeling like when the beginning, like you said, like someone survives, but also you knew like down the line a lot of people were gonna die, and with the being that there's a second one and whatever, you knew things were gonna happen. So I don't know, like it's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. I technically can give it a 5 because it's just minuscule things that I noticed. Like you said, like it's not perfect, it's low budget, but you can't discredit a low budget movie for going over the top like it did with the things that they did. And
I know. Yeah, low budget doesn't equate to bad. Not in this case, anyway.
Yeah, I mean honestly, you didn't like if I wasn't a horror fan, which I am now that I'm growing up and realizing, okay, these are just movies, but they're also just thoughts of deranged minds. Like there's a lot of people that with that deranged minds that write stuff like this, and you see it in almost every horror film. Like okay, like you see like The Exorcist, that's a horror film, but it's also like not deranged enough where it's like okay, cool, like a girl's possessed, or like The Conjuring, or Annabelle, or any of those. Like I like The Nun. I like The Nun. Have you seen The Nun, Knack Attack? Have you watched The Nun at all?
No, I've only ever seen that first Conjuring movie. I haven't had a chance to dig into the spin-offs and sequels.
Okay, those are. I mean,
I really enjoyed The Conjuring.
What Danya loves those a lot. She loves Annabelle, even though the dog creeps her out a little bit. But yeah, horror films are needed in life. It's like these movies, and it's like a breath of fresh air because it's like, okay, you don't want to do bad things in life, but you want to watch bad things happen to people on film because technically these people are still alive. They're just playing characters, and movies are an escape to a gateway. Movies are gateways to other people's minds and how people think, and I enjoy them. And that's why we have this podcast here, guys. And I thank you all for tuning in. Oh, your favorite has always been Nightmare on Elm Street. That's awesome, Iron Shadow. I do love those. Dream Warriors attack. Dream Warriors for the win. Knack Attack is having fun in the chat now. But yeah, it's definitely like I don't know. Like Knack Attack. Let's delve in this real quick. Like, what was your first film? I mean, honestly, like I said in the earlier, like the Child's Play movies really got to me at an early age. Like, it definitely had Chucky in my like. I remember The Dream, like honestly, vividly, still to this day. Like Chucky would chase me around on a little like a toy motorcycle. Like he would be on a motorcycle chasing me around my house, back in Pennsylvania. That you've been inside. A few times when we hung out in real life, and like it was insane. But what about you? Like, what was your like penultimate? Like, you're not your penultimate, but your film that got you hooked.
Me hooked or scared me as a little kid.
Maybe scared you. Maybe scared you as a little kid.
um. Okay, the one I can remember that kind of freaked me out was the gate, because I was always scared these like little demon things are gonna start like coming out from under my bed.
Okay. All right. I don't remember the gate. I never saw the gate, but I will have to go.
The gate's really good, man.
Okay. All right. And Iron Shadow says Nightmare on Elm Street
Oh
play is
shit, yeah, Night Flare is really good.
Night Flyer. I don't know if I've seen it. And House of Wax. I. All right. So
House of Wax is the remake. I guess you're referring to that one is way better than that movie had any right to be.
yeah, it is. But also, I enjoy the Vincent Price film of it version of it a lot more. Um, I like Vincent Price. Don't get me wrong. Vincent Price was a hell of an actor for his time. House of Wax, the remake with Paris Hilton. It's cool to see her die. And some of the ways that they die in
It's
that
weird
movie.
you refer to it as that because I always refer to it as House of Wax, the one with Jared Padalecki.
Who's Jared Padalecki? Who's Jared
He's
Padalecki?
one of the guys on Supernatural.
Oh yeah. Supernatural, one of your favorite shows of all time. I never really watched it. Never watched really a lot of Supernatural, but I know it's one of the shows a lot of people liked because they had a lot of seasons. Correct? It had like
It was on for like 12 seasons.
12 seasons. Yeah. I've only seen the movie once, and I vividly remember the part where they're ripping the wax off the person and their skin comes off. Yes. Well,
That's what happened to Padalecki. That was his kill.
yeah, if you ever saw any of the Final Destination, which there's a new one coming out, I'm excited to see it. Even though it kind of ended with the last one because it came full circle with the plane in the first one. You've seen them all, right? You've seen all the Final Destinations, right, Knack Attack, or no?
I haven't seen the fifth one.
You haven't seen the fifth one? Okay. Is there six already? Isn't there sixth one? I don't remember.
6 is coming out.
Yeah, six is coming out. Okay. Uh, the first two were great. The third one was great with the roller coaster. Right? That's the third one? Fourth one was the
shit the bed with 3 and 4. I hear 5 is good, but I haven't seen that one.
Well, the fourth one is the racetrack.
Yeah, that one sucks.
Well, the one where the kid gets smashed with the glass, wasn't that the second one?
Yeah, that's 2.
Yeah.
2 is a classic.
I would slow down that part in that movie just to watch that fake body get squished.
Oh, I did that too. I did the DVD in slow mo just to see the pain come down.
Yeah.
Like, when did they switch to a dummy, or was this all CG?
See, so guys, when we start talking about horror films, we get way off topic. But so we already gave our final rating of Terrifier. Just like you guys,
good, man. It's good to throw out some recommendations for the month here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is horror month. There are a lot. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. You guys can watch that for some laughs. You can also watch the cartoon, which was out as when we were kids, which was actually one of my favorite things because I thought it was funny.
Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is the best horror comedy I can recommend.
How about the guide to the one that the Scouts Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse? That's a great film. I liked it. I don't know if you've
seen that one yet.
I don't know. It's funny. I mean, honestly, Zombieland was great. The second one.
The thing that Scouts movie that kind of came out right around the time when the zombie genre was already kind of like run to the ground. So
yeah,
like when it first released, I had zero interest in checking it out.
Well, now you know that your co-host, think it's a good movie. I haven't seen it in a while. Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies is another funny one to watch. If you guys haven't seen that one, my wife loved it. We have it on DVD. We have a lot of DVDs. She collects a lot of DVDs. So did I at the time. But let's do this, guys. Let's wrap it up here. We'll be back in 2 weeks on the 20th. Same weekend that TwitchCon is happening. If you guys would like to see me at TwitchCon, send me money. I'm just kidding. Don't send me money. You probably don't have it. Knack Attack. We'll be back in 2 weeks, October 20th, for Terrifier 2. I know you're
Oh,
excited.
I can't wait to talk about Terrifier too.
I know you're
love that
excited.
movie.
I am too. I am too because that opening portion of that film.
And
God,
John, I
it's
don't want you to look this up, but I want you to watch through all the end credit scenes, and I want to know if you can pick out the special cameo in one of those.
well of the second one. There's a special cameo?
Yeah,
There's a
there's a
special
special cameo in one of the end credit scenes. Don't look it up. I want you to see if you can figure out who it is when you watch it.
Oh God. Oh God. Um I'm gonna have to go watch this movie ASAP, but before I
You'll dig it if you know who it is right away.
well, I gotta go watch it on Prime Video, which is it's on Prime, but also on Hoopla. So is it a megastar? Is it someone big? Somebody big? Someone I know?
It's someone big for us.
Someone big? Is it Tobin Bell?
You'll just have to see.
I named him
It's
without
not what
even
you would
knowing.
expect.
Okay.
It's not what you would expect, but it's a big cameo for bros like us.
For bros like us. Okay. I'm gonna call it from Ash from Evil Dead, maybe. I don't know. That'd be funny if it was Bruce Campbell. But we are gonna leave you guys.
It's not. I mean, you wouldn't like a normie wouldn't recognize this person.
A normie wouldn't recognize this. A normie. Alright, so we're calling people that don't know horror films normies. Alright, so with that being said, guys, twitch.tv/The Real Tight Spot, twitter.com, oh, x.com. No, fuck that.
It's Twitter.
It's
Fuck
Twitter.
that guy.
Twitter.com/The Tight Spot. Twitter.com.
By the way, if anyone has a Sky Blue invite, send it to me.
Yes,
I want out of that nightmare.
send it to me as well, or go to Threads. I don't know. Threads is owned by Meta, which is Facebook, which is another Mark Zuckerberg project. But yeah, we love you guys all here. Let me see if this person is still on that I want to head over to, so we can write out here on the Facebook. Jesus, I don't think he is. Yes, he is. So we're gonna. No, is he going away? No, he's staying on, but he's on a break right now. Shit. He had to restart his computer. Okay, he said to be right back. So you know what? Fuck it. Let's rate it over there. Let's make him come back. He's playing a little bit of NCAA. We love T-Fen. So let's go raid T-Fen21. Knack Attack. Go follow him on the Twitter as well. Knack Attack, NAKATTACK. And hit us up on the YouTube with comments, like, subscribe it as well if you haven't.
There you go.
Last minute movie recommendation. Frailty. Yes. Frailty with Rocket the Raccoon. No, that's not it. No, that's no. Frailty's
Bill Paxton, Pullman, one of those guys is in it.
Yeah, and Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Very
very good Matthew McConaughey performance in that one.
I loved. That's one of my favorite movies because honestly, it's pretty insane. But he is live. He's back. He's ready to go. So we're gonna rate T-Fen. Thank you all for tuning in on the Twitch. Love you guys. Let us know on YouTube what you guys think as well. But we'll see you on the flip side. Art, thank you for hanging out.